Okay, so this is a reading of your script, and I would like everyone, please, to watch this and listen very carefully to the vocal detail that I give the lines. Okay, so tone, pitch, pace, volume, intonation, and try to imitate it as much as you can. Okay, so here we go. Scene one: journey from London to countryside. Professor's house. Put out that light! Don't you know there's a war on? Just trying to show these kids their seats on the blessed train. That don't affect the blackout. If Hitler sees that torch, he'll bomb the lot of us to bits. Now don't scare the children. We're not scared of Hitler, sir. They reach the country, meet Macready, staff, and Professor. And your names are? Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, and our second name is Pevensie. So, you'll be the evacuees. Professor. I'm Professor Kirk. This is my house, and behold, this is my housekeeper, Mrs. Macready. I find it wise to obey her in most things, and these are the maids, Ivy, Margaret, and Betty. I hope your stay here will be happy and exciting. Scene 3, the girls' bedroom. The young ladies will sleep in here, and the young gentlemen, through the blue door, and mind your heads. You'll find the necessities under your beds. Good night. Sleep tight. Mind the beasties don't bite. Good night. Good night. Exit Macready. We've fallen on our feet and no mistake. The professor will let us do what we like. He's an old dear. Oh, come off it. Don't talk like that. Like what? Like mother. Edmund, it's time you were in bed. There you go again. Try going to your bed yourself, Susan. The whole house is like a maze at Hampton Court. That was hedges, not rooms. What's that noise? Only a bird, silly. It makes me feel creepy. It's an owl. This is going to be a wonderful place for birds. I'm off to bed. We can explore tomorrow. You saw those mountains and woods. There might be eagles. Stags, perhaps. There'll be hawks, badgers, foxes, rabbits. It'll be dragons and serpents if we don't get to bed. Come on, Edmund. Good night, girls. Good night. Happy dreams. Scene 5. Inside Professor's house. They agree to explore the house. Professor agrees they can. Lucy finds the wardrobe. Up some more steps. Just one funny little room. It's empty, except for the wardrobe. Nothing else. There's a dead blue bottle on the windowsill. Come on. Peter, Susan, and Edmund troop out. Lucy stops, stays. She approaches the wardrobe. It's probably locked. Oh! Only mothballs. What's this? Hundreds of coats, long, furry coats. Leave the door open. It's very foolish to shut yourself in a strange wardrobe. More coats. Very dark. It goes on and on. It must be a simply enormous wardrobe. Oh, something crunching under my feet. Mothballs? No. It's all soft, powdery, and very cold. Snow. Very odd. And the fur rubbing my face. It's gone all rough and prickly. Christmas tree branches, and there's a light ahead of me glowing. Scene 6. Lucy discovers Narnia and meets Mr. Tumnus. The back of the wardrobe. I can still see the room through the wardrobe. It's daylight back there. Night time out here. I can always nip back if anything goes wrong. I'll walk towards that light. Odder and odder. Why put a lamppost in the middle of a wood? And what do I do next? What's that? Pitter-patter of feet. The fawn approaches. Goodness gracious me! Good evening. Oh, good evening, good evening. Excuse me, I don't want to seem Inquisitive, but should I be right in thinking that you are a daughter of Eve? Jump to Mr. Tumnus' house. They have tea. Now, daughter of Eve, I wasn't sure what you'd like, so I've done everything. Nice brown eggs, lightly boiled. Sardines on toast, buttered toast, toast with honey. And we'll finish with sugar-topped cake. I hope that'll do. Oh, that'll do. Tumnus sings a song. Mr. Tumnus, your song's lovely, but really I must go home. Tumnus lays down his flute and shakes his head sorrowfully. It's no good now, you know. Mr. Tumnus, whatever's the matter? He covers his face with his hands and sobs. Mr. Tumnus, don't, aren't you well? Mr. Tumnus, stop it at once. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, a great big fawn like you. I'm paid to be a kidnapper. Look at me, daughter of Eve. Would you believe that I'm the sort of fawn to meet a poor, innocent child in the wood and invite it home to my cave for tea, so that I can hand it over to the White Witch? You wouldn't do anything of the sort. Scene 8. In the forest, Tumnus takes Lucy back to the lamppost. Do you know your way from here, daughter of Eve? Yes, there's the wardrobe. Scene 9. Back in Professor's house, outside by the steps, Lucy tells them about Narnia. I'm here, I've come back, I'm all right. What on earth are you talking about, Lucy? Oh, weren't you wondering all where I was? Have you been hiding? And nobody noticed you'd gone? You'll have to hide longer than that if you want people to start looking for you. But I've been away for hours and hours. Scene 10. They surround the wardrobe and Peter opens it, but Narnia isn't in there. Now, go in and see for yourselves. Susan puts her head in the wardrobe and pulls the fur coats apart. It's just an ordinary wardrobe. You can see the back of it. Peter leans in and wraps the back of the wardrobe from inside. Solid wood. Scene 11. Edmund discovers Narnia, meets the witch. She gives him Turkish delight. Edmund. Lucy! Lucy, I'm here too! Oh, she's angry with me. Listen, Lou. Sorry I didn't believe you. You were right all along. Make it, Pax. The White Witch comes along, stops by Edmund. Yes, your Majesty. And how, pray, did you come to enter my dominions? Please, your Majesty, I came in through a wardrobe. A wardrobe? Wardrobe? What do you mean? I opened a door and just found myself here, your Majesty. Ha! A door! A door from the world of men. I have heard of such things. This may wreck all. But he is only one, and easily dealt with. My poor child, how cold you look. Come and sit with me here on the sledge. I will put my mantle round you and we will talk. Yes, your Majesty. Something hot to drink? Yes, please, your Majesty. I've never had this before. Very sweet and foamy and creamy. It warms you right down to your toes. It is dull, son of Adam, to drink without eating. What would you like best to eat? Well, Turkish delight is my favourite, your Majesty. Do you live all alone in your world, son of Adam? Oh, no, I've got one brother and two sisters. 2 sons of Adam, 2 daughters of Eve. That's 4 of them. 4. One of my sisters went to Narnia. She said she'd met a faun. Do all the people in your world know about Narnia? No, only me and my brother and sisters know anything about it all. Son of Adam, I should so much like to meet your brother and your 2 sisters. Will you bring them to me? Scene 12. Lucy thinks that Edmund is on her side and runs to tell Peter and Susan. Peter! Susan, it's all true. Edmund's been there too. There is a country through the wardrobe. We both got into the snowy woods. Edmund, tell them all about it. Edmund stands very still, says nothing. What's it all about, eh? Edmund silently makes his horrible decision to betray Lucy. Tell us, Ed. Edmund sniggers. Oh, yes, Lucy and I were pretending that story about a country in the wardrobe was true. Just for fun, there's nothing really there. No such place as Narnia. Lucy gives Edmund a look and rushes out. She's off again. That's the worst of little kids. They always... Peter, turning on him savagely. Shut up. You've been vicious to Lou ever since she started this nonsense about the wardrobe, and now you go playing games which set her off again. Scene 13. The children agree to follow Lucy to Mr. Tumnus' house. I'm sorry I didn't believe you, Lucy. Shake hands. Of course. What do we do next? Explore the wood. It's getting colder, better put on coats. Let's pretend we're Arctic explorers. It's exciting enough without pretending. Come on. They follow. Edmund. Shouldn't we go a bit more to the left if we're aiming for the lamppost? Oh. So, you really were here with Lucy, and you made out she was telling lies. Of all the poisonous little beasts. Peter shrugs. Edmund makes a face. Where are we going, anyway? Lucy, you lead the way. One moment. Well, we'll see Mr. Tumnus first. He's the faun I told you about. They get to Mr. Tumnus' house. The former occupant of these premises, the faun Tumnus, is under arrest and awaiting his trial on the charge of high treason against Her Imperial Majesty Jadis, Queen of Narnia. Also of comforting Her Majesty's enemies and fraternising with humans. Signed, Maulgrim, Captain of the Secret Police. Long live the Queen! I don't much like Narnia. They are interrupted by Beaver from very near them. Are you the sons of Adam and daughters of Eve? We're some of them. Shh! Not so loud, please. We're not safe, even here. Who are you scared of? There's nobody here but us. Trees have ears. They're always listening. Most of them are on our side, but there are trees who'd betray us to her. They say Aslan is on the move. Perhaps he has already landed. Aslan. What about Mr. Tumnus? Where is he? Shh, not here. Come down here to my house on the dam for a real talk and some dinner. So they're having dinner. What happened to Mr. Tumnus? It's a very, very bad business. He was taken off by the secret police. I got that from a magpie who saw it done. But where have they taken him? They were last seen heading northwards, and we all know what that means. We don't. It means they were taking him to the witch's house. What'll they do to him, Mr. Beaver? You can't say for sure, but her courtyard is full of stone statues. Narnians she's magicked with her wand. Victims turned into stone. We must do something to save him. It's all because of me. It's no good, son of Adam. We can't save him alone. But now that Aslan is on the move... Oh yes, tell us. Tell us about him. About Aslan. Who is Aslan? Aslan? Don't you know? He's the king. He's the lord of the whole world.